Yes, here we are, Monday Night Football. The Los Angeles Rams are headed to San Francisco, and they're taking on the 49ers. And I am so stoked to be previewing this game today with none other than Rams Insider and
What's up,
Rams
everyone?
fan for the Rams and CG Ruthless Sports and 49ers Ultimate Report for the 49ers. Gentlemen, thank you for coming on in today.
No problem, man. It was really excited to be here. Other YouTubers, so that's automatically more interesting. Get some more opinions, and it should be fun today.
Absolutely.
Appreciate being on, man. I got you on my show the previous time, and I gotta pay you back in return, man. So hey, man, I'm just excited to be on the show.
Awesome.
Yeah, and thanks very much, Payo. Thanks for always having me on. Thank you very much for being on my channel a few times this year. I'm John J. Thanks again for everybody being here. We're gonna have a great show for you guys.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it too, man. I appreciate the invite. This is actually my first time actually getting on a live with other YouTubers, so I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, no, Rams Superfan, we're glad to get you. I've watched your content, but it's good to see you live here and meet you digitally for the first time.
Thank you.
But all the channel links to everyone's channel here is in the description below. If you're watching right now, you need to make sure you subscribe because you got to be in the know about your Rams. You got to be in the know about your 49ers. But that's being said, guys, I want to hear about your hot takes, your thoughts on this game, and we'll be polite. We'll let the 49er faithful get the first question in here. So, CG, what are you looking forward to seeing about your Niners tonight in this game?
I want to see if our offense could play better this time because the previous weeks our offense has been a non-existence. But I feel like the keys to beating the Rams is we got to get to Stafford, and I've seen what the Tennessee Titans were able to do. So if we can do that, then it's possible. But I feel like our offense has been the problem. I know lately it hasn't been Jimmy Garoppolo's fault, but I feel like at some point we got to make a change. But it's got to do with the receivers that have been dropping the ball here and there. But other than that, I feel like the offense has to play better this time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And 49ers Ultimate Report, what are you looking forward to in this game tonight?
Yeah, so my name is John J, and I'm the 49ers Ultimate Report. And I do agree with, what CG says, when it comes to, the 49ers, the way that the 49ers offense is always predicated on the run game and the play action. On the defensive side of the ball, there's a lot of concerns. We have the most penalties in the secondary. Our defensive line is probably one of the worst in the league, worst in the leagues. And all has to go well for the 49ers for that offense to march down the field, go to the red zone, get points on the board, and the defense has to really neutralize the running back. So that's the thing that I'm very concerned because the Rams, they have a good running back, their quarterback, I can't say so many good things about them. It's just unfair, their wide receivers and their defense in general. So we'll see what happens in this game. Hopefully the 49ers, pull a rabbit out of the hat and, figure out that, the Niners probably somehow can figure out to beat the Rams, and we'll see tonight in this game.
For sure. And Rams Superfan, we'll go to you next. What is something that the Rams have to do to get the win tonight?
They got to get back to playing mistake-free football. This entire season, we have been so good at we led the league in the least. Let me rephrase that. We are the least penalized team in the NFL. We also Stafford is the least sacked quarterback in the NFL. And, we don't turn the ball over much, and we get quite a few turnovers on defense. The Tennessee Titans game last week was the complete opposite of that. We had two horrible turnovers that led to 14 points. We were sacked 5 times. I think previously to that, we only had 8 sacks on the year through 8 games. So we were sacked 8 times. We got to get back to protecting Stafford. And like I said, we are the least penalized team. Last week, we had 12 sacks for 115 yards. So that's the way we're gonna win this game is getting back to clean football.
Yeah, we definitely. Well, I agree with everything you said. When you talk about the stats like that, it just my heart skips a beat.
Yeah.
There. Rams Insider, what's maybe one or two players that you're really looking forward to seeing in this game tonight?
Honestly, I really want to see Von Miller turn up this game.
Yeah.
Hot take. You know, I don't want to offend nobody, but hot take. I don't really care if Odell plays this game. I really don't. I don't, because it's not concerning me. I know Robert's out, but that gives a huge opportunity for Van to step up seriously. And I know he switches in between, but he switched in between with Deshaun, and now Robert's out permanently. So now that's okay. Can Van play? Like, can he play today? But I'm really excited for Von Miller mostly, and probably Matthew Stafford because of the O-line. Because we all know if usually when we lose big time, like when we lost to the Cardinals or Tennessee, we came back. We beat Seattle, and now is our chance to beat San Francisco. So now I think that I'm really excited for Von Miller to see what he can do, considering his ankle injury that we recapped, and now the fact that his first game as a Ram. So yeah, Von Miller probably. I don't really know about a second player. Maybe probably Matthew Stafford because of his O-line. But yeah, Von Miller for sure.
Okay, and just a quick shout out. I did a poll, or like I do for every week, you know, where Rams fans guess who's going to score first for the Rams, and I was a little shocked to see. So 54% said Cooper Kupp. That's normal, but second behind that was Odell Beckham Jr. at 21%, even more than Darrell Henderson, the running back, or Van Jefferson. I was like, okay, Odell has had one practice and a walkthrough. Before this game. You know what? Let's maybe hear from a 49ers perspective. John Jay, do you think Odell is a factor in this game tonight?
Yeah, he's a factor, and I'm not saying he's gonna catch like 10 catches, 100 yards, but he's gonna be a really good factor. And McVay's offense is predicated on Kyle's offense. So when you look at what they can use them for like certain schemes, like fourth or goal line situation as a decoy. And even as a decoy, like wide receivers are still very important. People forget of the X's and O's. So he could be a factor. He probably may have a few pass attempts at his direction. Will he do a lot? I don't think so, but he's still going to be a factor, and the Niners have to understand that. And the same thing, how we do our offense, with the 49ers. We use Debo in many situations as well. So I do believe that he's going to be used. How many times? I don't but the Niners still have to account for him.
Okay, definitely. And CG, I'd love to hear your opinion on definitely Odell, but more so, could you talk a little bit about Deebo Samuel and what do you think his role is tonight? Thinking he's probably going to have Ramsey on him at some point.
Oh, his role is going to be more like he's going to get more of the targets, of course, but I think as more of a decoy for certain plays. Like it's going to open up for other receivers. But man, the matchup with Debo is you guys have to be able to cover this guy. It doesn't matter what happens. Like you can throw in a short pass. You better not arm tackle him, or if you miss a tackle, he's going to make you look foolish. Just ask Aaron Donald. He didn't know what was going on. I mean, I think that's the X factor is Deebo Samuel, but I got one guy that's going to get an opportunity to step in, and that's my boy Juwan Jennings, man. That guy is going to get some more reps this week. I mean, Sanu, no offense, I guess you're out for this time being, but I want to see what this kid from Tennessee can do, man. I'm just excited for that. But I think the X factor for Debo is those jet sweeps and those short passes the way it did against the Bears, and maybe throw in some deep passes every now and then. That's where Debo is very effective, and you definitely can do a lot with him in the running game also. So that's what I expect out of Debo.
Awesome. And Rams Insider, I would love to know when we talk about Deebo Samuel, we also have to talk about Cooper Kupp. And can you maybe let the 49er faithful know, Deebo has been great, but can you talk a little bit? What do you expect from Cooper Kupp tonight?
I expect Cooper to still be the number one receiver as far as we're playing. It doesn't really matter to me what game or what team we're playing, how far we are in the season. I feel like whoever is capable of being number one is probably going to stick to being number one. And I think Cooper's role this game probably is going to be number one as well, but I do think he'll have less targets because OBJ's in this game if he plays in this game. Now, we also have Van stepping up, so I think that, everybody's going to want to share the ball. Everybody's going to want a touchdown. Everybody's going to need to run the ball with Darrell Henderson too. So I think that Cooper is probably going to still be the number one, but at the same time, we have OBJ. And if OBJ is playing, I'm not saying, I don't want to say it's a danger, but it's a risk to Cooper Kupp's targets. It can destroy his average. And if OBJ is really playing as the number one receiver and they're sharing targets, then I think that Cooper Kupp is probably just going to be a wide receiver number two, or they're going to be splitting snaps or splitting receptions, and maybe it could be a down game for Cooper, but at the same time, it's Cooper. So I'm not very worried about this game.
Okay, cool. And I want to bring in, I reached out to many Rams and 49ers content creators, and I'm happy. He came a little bit late, but we're glad he's here. Our third 49ers fan. Please welcome to the show, Niners Sickness.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen?
What's up, Niners Sickness?
Yeah.
What's up, man?
Yeah.
What's up, Sickness, man? What up, bro?
I'm late to the party, bro, but just like a Latino. Always late.
No worries. No
Always
worries.
crashing the party, bro. Sorry about that.
That's great. Yeah. I'm assuming CG and John J, I'm assuming you and Niners Sickness all know each other.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Awesome. And
We go way back.
I'm real good friends with his brother.
Oh, cool.
CJ's brother. Yeah, me and CJ's brother really good friends.
Well, Niners Sickness, I have to introduce my fellow great Rams content creators. This is Rams super fan here.
Hey, how you doing, man?
How you doing, sir?
And we got Rams Insider here as well.
Rams
going on, man?
Inside. I like the name. What's up, brother? How you doing?
Thanks.
Awesome. Well, Niners Sickness, we're just breaking down this game here. And so I'd love to know, I know you've been frustrated with the 49ers at times, but you're obviously hoping for the Niners to win tonight. Who do you think needs to have a big game in order for the Niners to pull off the W tonight?
D'Amico Ryans,
Okay.
our defensive coordinator, needs to call a great game plan against Matthew Stafford. We need to. We're lacking in help in the secondary, as you guys know. We're depleted in the secondary. We can't cover right now. Our lives dependent on it. Our front four need to put pressure on Matthew Stafford, and it works from that point on. But D'Amico Ryans has to be the one that has to dial up the best play calling that he has done all season in order for us to be effective.
Okay. And with that, I'd love to go to Rams Superfan next with that. Can you maybe talk about what does Raheem Morris need to do tonight to call a good defensive game for the Rams?
Really quick, before I answer that question, I just want to add to, comment on what the Rams Insider said a few moments ago. I truly do not believe Odell Beckham can do anything to stop Cooper Kupp from getting targets. I think it's just the chemistry. I think Stafford and Cooper Kupp are just chemistry-wise on a completely different level. Any receiver in the NFL can come on this team right now, and I don't think that's going to slow down that chemistry that they have. So I don't expect him to slow down. He's, I don't know if you guys seen the stat today, but he's the fastest receiver in NFL history to reach 1,000 yards. This is going to be an unprecedented season.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've seen like the chemistry between between Stafford and Robert Woods not be there the entire season. And I think the chemistry between Stafford and OBJ is going to take a while to gel.
Yeah.
So I don't see Cooper Kupp slowing down the targets. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong, though. And as far as your question, could you repeat that again?
Yeah, no, and I totally agree with you about Stafford and Kupp and their chemistry. It can't be understated, really can't. But I was asking, the question is, what do you think that Raheem Morris, the Rams defensive coordinator, needs to do to stop the Niners offense tonight?
Honestly, I think Raheem Morris has been doing a really good job. I think we've been getting a lot better week in and week out. Last week against the Titans, the defense looked amazing, which is partly why that loss hurt so bad. I kind of think we're hitting a good stride here. I think he just has to stop the running game. and definitely keep an eye on Debo Samuel. That guy is a weapon. You know, he reminds me, he's just like an offensive weapon. He can do everything. You just get him the ball in open space and things are going to happen. He's been great for my fantasy team too. So I think you have the weapons to isolate him with Jalen Ramsey and some of the other guys over there, and I think just slow the run game down. If you slow the run game down, I have faith in the secondary, and obviously with Von Miller, let's get some pressure. Let's see it. Are we already? I don't know if we still lead the league in sacks now, but I know we did before we got Von Miller. So let's just get after him. I mean, that's the way to beat any offense is getting after the quarterback. We've seen it in the Super Bowl with Patrick Mahomes this year. It doesn't matter if you pressure the quarterback, it's over.
Oh, absolutely. Well said. And we'll go over to John Jay next here. And John Jay, I'm curious. So you hear Rams superfan talk about the Rams defense and things like that. But let's talk about one of the most controversial players on the 49ers, Jimmy Garoppolo. What do you think he's going to do in this game tonight? Is he going to get benched? Is he going to throw for 7,000 touchdowns? What do you think?
Well,
he's showing up tonight.
Well, that's a good joke. I really like that. But to be serious for one moment, Jimmy Garoppolo, I've said this many times. He's a one-dimensional pocket passing quarterback. His attributes are really good at the play action. And he's, Kyle's guy. Kyle's continuing to use him. And it's not going to change unless something serious really happens. So Jimmy's going to play the entire game. Depending on what happens, we don't know. Trey could come in. We don't know. But all Kyle has to do is to establish the run and open the play action. And if that happens, I don't care how good Ramsey and the defenders up there, for some reason, when the run game works, the play action works, and our wide receivers become dangerous. And that's the way the Niners have to use Jimmy Garoppolo. And Jimmy Garoppolo is always going to be controversial with the 49ers, but that's the only way he's going to succeed. But if we are, again, going at shotgun and always establishing the pass first, then you're going to see the limitation of Jimmy Garoppolo. So that's the thing. What I see about Jimmy Garoppolo is very simple. If we run the ball, play action, the Niners are going to go down the field. It comes down to Kyle, and Kyle basically tells Jimmy what to do. And it's not all Jimmy's fault. Kyle, for some reason, is shotgun and deep passes for whatever the reason. So as long as we do that, that's all Jimmy has to do. And I know this because I've seen Jimmy for the last 4 years. And that's when he's good, he's good. But when he's on shotgun and deep passes, he's awful.
Yeah, no, okay. For this next question, again, I didn't overly prepare for this, but you guys are doing a phenomenal job. Thank you for waiting patiently and not interrupting each other. But if at any time you want to pipe in, feel free to be like, hey, I want to comment on that. But we'll go to I want to hear from Rams Insider and then Niners Sickness about this next one here. Is what because you're gonna have different opinions, but that's a good thing in this situation. Is how good do you think that the Rams and the Niners actually are? Like where in the NFL? Like, do you put them at a top 5 team, a bottom 5 team? And I want to hear. So Rams Insider, if you could go first, where do you put the Rams and where do you put the Niners? And then Niners Sickness, you can go next, and we're actually, we're gonna get the whole group to see if we agree or disagree on this. So, Ram Insider, kick us off.
Ooh, see, I know no matter what I say, somebody's gonna bully me in this chat. I didn't see it. No matter what I say, but the Rams are a top 5 team. Now, I know that if I'm just going off of my head, I can think, okay, Buccaneers, right, like that. I can think like that, but Rams. I'm going to say the Rams, if we're going off of strictly, well, I won't say strictly the record, but off of rosters, because I like to go off of rosters, not their record. So if I'm going off of rosters, I'm going to say that we are number 2 in the league. I'm gonna say we're number 2 behind the Packers. That's where I'm placing the Rams. Number 2 behind the Packers, because I feel like the Packers are doing so well this season for no reason. I just feel like the Packers are doing so good for no reason, like no explanation. But with Robert Woods out, I'm gonna push us to 3. I'm not sure who's 2, but Packers are still 1. But I'm gonna put us at 3 because Robert's out for the season. And the 49ers, they're 4-6, so they're not terrible, but they're not elite like they were in 2019. And that's not bashing the 49ers or anything. It's just that they kind of went down since 2019. So 49ers, I don't know if I have an exact spot for them, but I'm going to say about a rough estimate, maybe number 9 on the list, maybe 9 or 10. If I'm, because I don't want to say like, oh, they're 25 or something, like, oh, they're like 30. No, I don't want to be too over exaggerating, but the 49ers aren't bad. So I'll say Rams are 3 and maybe 49ers are 10 or 11, somewhere around there.
Okay, cool. Yeah. And Niners sickness?
Well, the fact that he said 4-6, that's stating that we beat the Rams tonight because we're 3. We only have won 3 games.
Yeah.
So the fact that you're claiming 4 already, brother, I take it as we're beating the Rams tonight. So appreciate that bolt of confidence. Where the Niners are, the Rams, I agree. The way Arizona played against Carolina, I mean, they were terrible against them. Let's see, Tampa Bay. I don't know. Tampa Bay is just overrated for me. Packers, as long as they have that bad man, which I can't stand saying all the time with Aaron Rodgers, they're always going to win. They don't have to have nobody but him. I mean, this guy literally throws the ball, catches the ball, and runs the ball himself, compared to a lot of Packer fans say. Now, with the Niners, is roster-wise, not record-wise, we have a lot of good parts in play. A quarterback is definitely a question mark. Jimmy Garoppolo, a top 5, top 10 quarterback? Probably not. So I don't put the Niners up high this season. I'm not going to sit there and be a homer and say we're top 5 because that's just ridiculous. But I would say the Rams are definitely top 5 team right now, based on who's out there. And the Niners are probably somewhere in the mid 11, 12, 13 spot. At this point, especially the way we played against Arizona with that defense. But that's kind of a really unfair question to ask. There's Payo Time, but thank you for asking that. You got a team like here and you got a team here and you're going to ask that question.
Okay, well,
I see what team you root for.
I thought it'd be interesting. Okay. Quick shout out here. Thank you so much for the super chat. 49ers first take. Sorry you couldn't make it with today. I hope you're doing well. And he's saying that the Niners are 25 out of 32.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah.
Tell us how you really feel, brother.
Yeah. We'll go Rams super fan. Do you agree with kind of that ranking in there? It's tough.
I mean,
we're looking at you, bro.
I know I'm biased. I mean, come on, my name is Ram Superfan.
Yeah.
I honestly think the Rams have the best roster in the NFL on paper. On paper, we're the best roster in the NFL. I think we had to put it together. I think making all of these changes in the middle of the year, bringing in Von Miller, OBJ, Robert Woods is gone, could cause a learning curve in the middle of the year. But that's okay. It's about how hot you get at the end of the season that really matters. Even though I think we're the best team in the NFL, I do. It's the reason why we love this sport is because once the playoffs start, everybody's 0-0, and it doesn't matter. The best team in the NFL can lose to the worst team and be knocked out of the playoffs. So as far as the Niners go, it's really just that quarterback, man. I don't trust him. I don't like him. He's too inconsistent. There's times where there's times when he plays us and he looks like Joe Montana, and then there's times where he plays us and he looks like Sam Bradford or something like that. So I think that's the main thing that's holding him back. I would probably say like somewhere probably like middle of the road. I would say about 15. This was a team before the season started that a lot of people had winning the division. So I don't think they're far from being good. Like if next year came and the Niners and the Cardinals switched spots, it wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah.
I think this year just isn't their year. I think they gotta fix that quarterback position. They gotta I don't know if Trey Lance is the answer, but they need to figure that out.
Yeah, and maybe CG, could you maybe expand on that point a little bit? Is the 49ers had expectations coming into this season. There was a lot of 49er faithful that had that Super Bowl bound desire to it. What are your thoughts on those expectations maybe not being met in the fan base?
Nah, we're not the Dallas Cowboys. We never said anything about expectation. I've seen maybe those delusional ones, which don't include me in that conversation.
Okay.
I've seen a lot of Cowboy fans talk Super Bowl, if we're going to go there. But expectation, yeah, the fact that they were talking about we're a healthy roster, and if we're as healthy as we get, there's a chance that we could make a strong push, but I never believed those hypes. I mean, I know a lot of our fan base gets all butthurt a little bit when I'm straightforward about stuff, but realistically, even with a healthy roster, we haven't really shown it. So, like, if I had to choose the rankings of where the Niners are at, I'd be kind enough to put them at 21 because the offense needs work. Defensively, it's a work in progress with DeMeco Ryans, but as far as the Rams, I had the Rams labeled as the most complete team in football when I was on the roundtable. I even had the Rams winning that division, even if the Cardinals were looking so good or not. I think if you had to put the rankings of the top 5 best teams complete, I put Rams at number 1. It's being realistic. Tampa Bay number 2, Green Bay number 3. Dallas Cowboy, as much as I hate the Cowboys for some reason, I put them in that spot. It's just I speak by facts and the truth, but I think the Rams are the most complete team. They got a lot of good offensive roster, a good defensive team, and they're looking really good on paper. So I'm just not convinced with Arizona. So I would put Arizona in the top 5 right there. So that would be my honest completion right there.
Okay, awesome. And John Jay, maybe we'll close off this kind of ranking category to it. Could you maybe expand a little bit more on the expectations of the Niners fan base coming into this season? And the reality is the Niners aren't out of the playoff push yet. I think they're 2 or 3 spots out. And with the Falcons losing yesterday, this is a big game for the Niners.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when it comes to the 49ers ranking, Niners sickness and CG, they had a lot of good points. But this is how I rank teams, and I have a grading system and analytical system. Right now, the 49ers defense, which on paper, before the season started, we were the most complete team. The question was the injuries, because for some reason, since 2014, the 49ers have had 20 plus players on IR, minimum of 4 to 16 weeks, which is horrible. And it's always been the injuries versus the 49ers. The Niners defense on paper, you had Eric Armstead, you had you had DJ Jones, you had Kinlaw and Bosa. Right there, that was supposed to be a decent defensive line. Al-Shaair, Greenlaw, and of course Fred Warner, Verrett, Emmanuel Mosley, Jaquiski Tart, and of course Jimmy Ward. That was a stacked team. But the question was, how are they going to perform? I said this team several months ago, and some of my Niner family criticized me that this was never a Super Bowl team. Look at the 49ers right now. John Jay, I'm going to give him another check mark. And that's not me being, disrespectful. When I look at the offense, the question was going to be how Alex Mack was going to make that offense really good. Jimmy Garoppolo was finally going to have no excuse. George Kittle, Ayuk, Debo, Raheem Mostert at the time before the season-ending injury, and Elijah Mitchell and Trey Sermon with, Jeff Wilson Jr., we had a good offense, but reality struck. And when I look at the 49ers, they're a top 20 team on defense. Their secondary, if you take away the penalties, they're one of the best in the pass game. Their run game is worse, so they're a top 20 team. The offensive side, again, they're a top 20 team right now. You see the inconsistencies of this team. The 49ers overall are a top 20 team, probably between 16 and 20. When I look at the Rams, Tampa Bay, they're frauds, and Green Bay are frauds. I saw Tampa Bay against the Washington football team. What's going on with that situation? Green Bay, I think it took them like over 45 minutes to score a touchdown against the Seahawks, which has one of the worst run defense and pass defense. When I look at the Rams, and no shot to the Cardinals fans, the Rams are the best team in this division. Why? Because McVay has a quarterback who's averaging 305 passing yards. An offense is averaging over 400 yards by the numbers. Cooper Kupp may break Calvin Johnson's record. We don't know. On the defensive side of the ball, you guys are loaded. You guys technically are the best team in the conference. And at the end of the day, are you guys number one? You guys are top 5 for sure. That's the best way to describe that situation. So that's my opinion about that.
Whoo! Ooh, that's hot. That's hot. Okay. All right. Well, I want to talk a little bit about what this game means to the Rams and the Niners tonight. Just kind of as we go on here, is maybe Rams superfan. Could you start us off? What would a win mean for the Rams today? We're coming off of a tough loss versus the Titans on Monday Night Football. We have the bye next week, and just what is the implications if the Rams win tonight?
I mean, I hate to be dramatic, but I feel like the Rams have to win. I mean, we can't lose 2 games going into the bye week and then have to go on the road to Lambeau, in Green Bay. That you could kiss that number 1 seed goodbye if we lose tonight, if that's the case. And then another thing with the win means is we got to beat the Niners, guys. Like, we haven't beat them in how long? I know we lost to them twice last year.
Years.
Yeah, it's been a while. We got to get that monkey off our back for sure. I mean, if we lose to the Niners tonight, it's like we might as well just not even play them anymore and just chalk up L's, put L's on our schedule as soon as the schedule comes out next to their name, because I feel like, over the last few years, this is probably the biggest disparity team-wise. Before it's always been pretty close, so the Niners been a little better. This time it's like, okay, we're better by far. Like, we had to get it done. So it definitely means a lot.
For sure. And just hearing you even talk about it, I'm hyped for the game, stoked for the game, but I know it has, there is a must-win value to it. If
Can I add to that real quick?
Yeah, no, Niners sickness. I was going to go over to you. Yeah.
Okay. A must-win for the Rams, in my opinion. I hear what you're saying about the first place against the Cardinals, but Cardinals lost. So a must-win for you guys. I don't really see it. I think it's more for us that we have to win this game because we're trying to be in contention with Minnesota, who won, and for that 7-spot seed. I think the Arizona are the Arizona team. They start hot and then they start rambling at the end, and they're going to do so. I see you guys beating Green Bay, particularly, but I don't see this game particularly a game that a must win. Would it be a nice win? Of course. Would it be a way to get a monkey call off your back and beat the Niners since you guys haven't beat us the last 2? Yes. But a must-win game, in my opinion. I think you guys can lose tonight and still survive and still win the division. Not a problem. But if we lose, we're in deep trouble of losing that 7-spot contention for the playoffs, in my opinion.
And maybe just for Niners or Niners sickness, do you think that if the Niners lose, that and they're out of playoff contention, that at some point you got to bench Jimmy G and just get Trey Lance? And I definitely want to hear from CG and 49ers Ultimate Report on this too. Is it time to usher in the Trey Lance era long term and have him pay his dues?
Of course. If we're out of contention, this is what's keeping Trey Lance at bay, is that we're still technically still in contention. And whether Niner fans agree or disagree, Jimmy gives us the best opportunity to win now. He's not the better quarterback, but he gives us the better opportunity to win now than Trey Lance. But if we are out of contention, playoffs is not an option anymore, then yes, definitely bring in the rookie and let him get his stripes and learn and get his bumps. At this point, what do we have to lose? It's all about building for next year and developing him, ready to get him go for game 1 next season.
And maybe CG, could you go next?
Yeah, if I had to look at the difference, which is a must win, it's for the 49ers, of course. It's because obviously the Rams are still control their own destiny. So even if they lost, they're still in the mix for that division. So we're trying to fight in for maybe that 7th spot. So I agree with what Niner Sixers is saying, but this is definitely a game we had to get back on track, because after that we got the Jacksonville Jaguars. We should have a very favorable matchup going on the road, which we've had some really good success against Jacksonville, but a win over the Rams can definitely put us over the hump a little bit just to build that momentum right there. But as far as like what you're saying about, like you were talking about the difference, right? The quarterback situation. If we lose tonight, then you might as well go with Trey Lance, because this is a perfect game to play Trey Lance's against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Their defense is horrendous. They're not well coached at this point. They're playing like they're tanking. So you want to play your young quarterback against this competition, right? Build them up against Jacksonville and make this kid build confidence. It's that I would think that would be the perfect time to play the kid. What do you think, John Jay?
I want to give a shout out to 49ers First Takes, who was here earlier, and we did in the offseason a schedule breakdown. And I said that my prediction was Trey Lance was probably going to start against the Jacksonville Jaguars, and it's a possibility. It's a possibility. So it could happen. I could be wrong, but I said something like this. I'll see what happens after tonight's game. And the reason why I said that was because I thought that maybe Kyle was going to incorporate Trey Lance and start some of the games later in the year. And that's one of the things that I said. Here's the problem that a lot of 49er fans get wrong when it comes to Jimmy and Trey. Jimmy Garoppolo has had some tough games this year. So I want 49er fans to understand that. He's had some tough games this year. He's had some bad games. I feel like sometimes, like if I'm in front of Jimmy Garoppolo, I want to strangle him sometimes because he really drives me nuts. But the reality is that Jimmy is a product of Kyle, and Kyle has basically messed up this situation, going back to how they dealt with the trading up of a quarterback, drafting Trey Lance in the offseason, not committing to a quarterback, and etc. And Kyle has driven this situation. And unfortunately, Kyle has always stated that Jimmy was his quarterback no matter what. He said no matter what. But now as the season's going on, we're not going to win the division because there's two teams that can win the division, the Cardinals or the Rams. We have nothing about that division. So the only thing we're playing for is a wild card spot. Is that possible? But if Jimmy loses tonight, and I don't care how good he plays, say the Rams do what the Packers did, a game-winning field goal, that's 3-6. And you can say Jimmy did the best job he can, but you have to roll for the future. Because if you're now 3-6, the odds of making that number 7 seed, and there's a possibility that a team with an 8-9 record or a 7-10 record can get that number 1 seed, and it probably won't be us, because then we're going to be out of contention after this game. So if you have to go young and go with Trey Lance, this is the NFL, and 49er fans forget that. It's not that Jimmy's played horrible this year. It's just that this situation is one of the most confusing situations. So I know this was a very long answer, a little bit confusing answer, but Kyle is going to continue going with Jimmy until he feels that he has to change it. So Kyle changes his answer one day and another. So it's hard for us to see what's going to happen next week and the week after.
Awesome. Yeah. And I want to finish off this segment here. Rams Insider, what do you think a win tonight means for the Rams?
A win just means that we are one step closer to beating Arizona's record. And I think that's, at least for me, that's our main goal here. I feel like our main goal is to get as many wins as possible without losing, or get as many wins as possible before the Cardinals win another game, or get more wins than the Cardinals and just pray that the Cardinals lose at some point. And we got one step closer to that. Yesterday, the Cardinals lost to the Panthers, and that's one more step closer to becoming 8-2, 9-2, 10-2, and I think that probably our main goal is to develop young players on our team so that maybe even in the future, if let's say we don't win the Super Bowl this year or we get eliminated in the championship game, next year is another year for whoever was a rookie last year, is a sophomore this year. They have another chance to win. They have another chance to step up. And I think that over time, we have young rookies who are going to turn into superstars. I think that our draft class, as of last year, was very bad this year, but our draft class could be really good next year. I think we did a really good job planning for the future, but as of right now, our rookies are not doing good. I feel like Ernest Jones was the only productive rookie out of our entire draft class so far. At least to me, I don't know if anyone else feels that way, but I think that our main goal right now is probably just to get ahead of the Cardinals as fast as possible or beat them in the playoffs without any difficulties.
Well, and it would be great if we could get home field advantage, throughout the playoffs as well. So, okay.
Especially with the Super Bowl in LA.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, man. I would love
you want to get that you getting that one seed is, you start the playoffs off with a win, because you get the bye. And, it sucks. I don't really, I liked it a lot better when it was two teams got the first round bye. Made it a little easier, but definitely want to get that bye.
Yeah, no, and that's just it. With only one team getting the bye, it just gets that much more valuable, right? You get a week of rest and just, to get healthy and prepare, and you get home field advantage throughout the playoffs as well.
A repeat of Tampa, huh?
Pardon?
A repeat of Tampa where you play at home and then you play your Super Bowl at home?
Knowing us, it still wouldn't be a home game.
Yeah.
depending on who we play.
Like we play the Chargers. What is that? A double home game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the only team you guys could play that you guys will have more fan base.
Oh,
I was there last week.
Oh, the Chargers, the LA versus LA Bowl, man. That would be kind of like an interesting matchup that you see which one's going to win it. And it's like, hey, which one's going to pay the rent?
Well, we all know it's the Rams' house. The Chargers are just sitting there paying rent, paying their dues. Yeah. By the way, I'm a Niner fan, not a huge Rams fan, but that stadium you guys built there, it's a sweet stadium. I can't wait to go see it next year. Mm-hmm. My friends have told me he's been there, and he's told me this freaking stadium is. As long as you guys beat out Jerry World, I can't stand the Cowboys. Mm-hmm. I'm good.
Well, Ram Superfan, you were there last week, right?
Yeah, I was there last week, and believe it or not, we were playing the Titans, and there were more Rams fans than Titans fans. I'd say it was probably about 70-30. And the stadium, I thought the stadium was like my son peeking in here. Say hi. I always thought people were exaggerating. Like, guys, it's just a stadium. Like, how nice could it be? It is exactly what everybody says it is. It's beautiful. That screen is amazing. It just seems like so futuristic, So definitely, if you guys ever have a chance to get out there, definitely take advantage of that.
For sure. Well, everyone, we are, less than half an hour away from kickoff here. But before we end the stream, I want to give each of you a chance. The link to all your channels is in the description below. We'll maybe start off with Niners Sickness. Give an invitation to our viewers.
Well, I appreciate that, man. If you guys want to follow me, it's Niners Sickness on YouTube. Most of my following is on Facebook, but I started doing my channel on YouTube. So Niners Sickness on Twitter, Niners Sickness 49, Instagram, Niners Sickness, YouTube, and Facebook. And I'm just a Niner content creator. I keep it real. I'm not as smart as everybody on here, like my guys here. But I like to keep it real, man. I keep it honest, and I tell you the truth, man. I don't care about hurting people's feelings. Awesome. So I'll say how I feel when I say it, but I am respectful as well. So if you want real content, the real deal, come and check me out. But you can't go wrong with the other two gentlemen over there. Plus, they're better looking than me anyway.
Thanks, man.
And we'll maybe do a Ram Superfan. Can you give a plug to your channel? And thank you for this is Ram Superfan's first live interaction on YouTube.
Yeah, this is pretty cool, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for inviting me. You know, hopefully we could do a lot more of these.
For sure.
But yeah, you guys could subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just search Ram Superfan. I try to do a few videos a week. You can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Ram Superfan. Definitely.
Awesome. Yeah. And finish off the bottom row here. CG, where can people find you? What's your channel about?
Oh, this is CG Ruthless Sports. You want brutally honest. You come into the right sports content. I mean, I do 49ers content. If you get every chance every Tuesday, check me on the NFC West Roundtable. I am the proud representative of the San Francisco 49ers. If you want truthfully Niners content or anything with football perspective, come into my channel. I will definitely make you feel welcome. I do Sports Tango on a daily basis. You guys are more than welcome to talk your sports. Let's see, Twitter, CG Ruthless 1. And then on my Instagram, you can find me under CG Ruthless. But I am definitely a guy that is more open for any fan base to come into the stream to talk sports with me, man.
Awesome. Awesome. And John Jay?
Yeah, so my name is John Jay, JONOHJAY. That's a real name. That's what my parents named me. So that's my name. My name is John Jay, the 49ers Ultimate Report. 49ers Ultimate Report. I am basically straight up. I give you the facts, the information. I give you my opinions, analytics, etc. But I'm a diehard fan. That's what you get with the 49ers Ultimate Report. I invite any fan base to come and chat. I'm also an interactive channel. I interact with the chat, etc. So I like to interact with fans. Everyone is welcome. I have Philadelphia Eagles. I have New York Giants. I got Chicago Bears. I got, the Baltimore Ravens, etc. They hop on. I even get the Cowboys, and they're a little bit, goofy. But I even let the Cowboys in. I let the Chiefs in. They're still talking a little bit. But I let the fan base in, and I ask questions, and I interact with them. That's what John Jay 49ers Ultimate Report. I also suggest for you to subscribe to the guy down here, CG Ruthless Sports, and the guy over there. That is Niner Sickness. Thank you very much, Payo Time. These guys, they know what they're talking about, and I do agree Niner Sickness is also knowledgeable, and also CG, he's also knowledgeable, but CG gives you brutally honest and nothing but brutally honest, and a Niner Sickness, he's just a guy who knows his 49er football. So I wanted to also give out shout outs to my 49er faithful and also the 49er faithful in the chat. So that's what I wanted to say.
Awesome. And of course, Rams Insider, I know you've been pumping out content like a madman. Yeah. Where can people find you?
So you can find me, YouTuber Rams Insider. You can go on there, trying to hit 500 subscribers by whatever time. I have no goal right now. On Instagram, you can find me at TheWinterKE. And on Twitter, you can find me at NotWinterKE. Literally KE, no Y in it. It's pronounced key, but you know what I mean. And then, I post videos. Usually, if it's a lot of news in a single day, you'll probably get 2 uploads in like a span of 15 minutes. It's kind of like 2 uploads. And if there's a lot of news and I feel like doing something, maybe 3 uploads in a day. I post a lot. Like, I'm posting a lot now. So, you can find me on YouTube. YouTube's the main thing. Let's try to 500 subs and also subscribe to Payo Time.
Awesome. Oh, thank you for that. And, gentlemen, well done. Well done. That was an amazing preview. And everyone who's watching, thanks for tuning in. We hope that you are as hyped for this game as we are. It's going to be a good one, and we're going to end the stream there. Have a great night.
Hey, can I ask you real quick?
Oh, yeah, sure.
For all you Rams fans, Cardinal fans, and Seahawk fans, I also have a group on Facebook. It's called NFC Gladiators, and that's just for the NFC participants. So if you guys want to check it out, you guys are welcome to check it out. Forgot to mention that.
For sure. Awesome. All right. We are going to end.
And on the road to 3K for me, I'm trying to get to 3,000. So help me, the more the merrier.
Make sure you subscribe to all of these fantastic, LA Rams and 49ers content creators. We're going to get everybody to the moon, right? All right.
I got 2 subscribers. I'm trying to get to 3.
Yeah.
Help me out.
All right, everyone. Enjoy the game.
All right. Go Rams.
Yeah.